Breaking news. Ono threatens Obi Datti and Atiku with lawsuit over felony comment on Tiunbu. And these have got Nigerians talking. The former campaign spokesman of President Bola Tinubu in the Southeast, Dr. Josie Ono, has warned all the rivals to President Tinubu who contest and lost the presidential election to refrain from their insightful statement within the armpit of the law. Ono spoke against the background of the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Datti. The former campaign spokesman of the President Bola Tinubu in the Southeast, Dr. Josie Ono, has warned all the rivals to President Tinubu who contest and lost the presidential election to reframe their insightful statement within the armpit of the law. Ono spoke against the background of the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Datti Baba Ahmed, who in a television interview stated that the Supreme Court did not declare Tinubu as winner of the February 25th, 2023 presidential election. Ono reminded Datti that uttering derogatory or constitutional, combustible and inciting statement against the declared president by the people, by the electoral body, and finally the highest court in the nation, the Supreme Court, was on its own and act of felony. He noted that both Datti and Peter Obi's statement before and after the elections and after the Supreme Court judgment were such capable of bringing hatred against the current government, which will instigate members of the public to want to take over the government by unlawful means. On a record that, superior to his recent comment, the same Datti, as the handover date of May 29 approached, openly declared on a national television program that the federal government should not hand over to Tinubu. According to Datti, Tinubu was wrongly declared the winner because he did not score 25% of votes in the in the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) as stipulated in Section 134 2B of the Constitution. But today, the Supreme Court judgment proved Datti wrong. He also complained that the election was tainted with malpractices and lacked transparency following the refusal of the INEC to upload the results as promised during the build-up to the poll. Baba Ahmed declared that swearing in the president-elect was tantamount to ending democracy and charged the then President Muhammadu Buhari, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, and other notable public officers to shun the handover ceremony. In my own opinion, exercising freedom of expression of one's opinion does not amount to treason, but Baba Ahmed's freedom of expression had to have been limited by law, being fully aware of the Presidential Election Tribunal and Supreme Court judgment. Hence, his current statement and that of Peter Obi can be at best defined as treasonable felony. Since the victory of President Tinubu and his respect for rule of law, he himself has been a victim of oppression. Hence, he has never abused his powers and encouraged Nigerians to express their freedom of speech. Unfortunately, these have given rise to a new breed of Nigerians and politicians, especially the opposition parties and their supporters, including the Labour Party presidential candidate and the vice, to have become so lawless that they are now reasoning with failed self-interest and self-devised interpretation of the Constitution have overshadowed their minds and callings with undignified attitudes and myopic illusions infused with selective self-serving ambition to be making inciting comments and threat to peace and order in Nigeria. I want to sound as a warning to Baba Ahmed Datti, Peter Obi, and the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, and all other Nigerians with political interest exercising the habit of holding that the Constitution guarantees free speech and freedom of expression, irrespective of the fact that Section 39 of the Constitution guarantees the rights to freedom of expression and the press, and ordinarily this right covers all forms of communication, including that of Baba Ahmed Datti as currently made, but the same Nigerian Constitution also allows for permissible limitations to that right. However, just like every other right guaranteed under the 4th chapter of the Constitution, that he should not forget that the right of freedom of expression has certain limitations, including the law of defamation, hate speech, the law of seduction, cyberbullying, etc. Section 45 of the Constitution, which allows for the derogation of the right to freedom of expression in the interest of defense, public safety, public order, public morality, or public health. The laws criminalizing sedition and treasonable utterances were made pursuant to Section 45 of the Constitution as it relates to public safety, order, and defense. Hence, since the Supreme Court has lawfully affirmed President Bola Tinubu as our president, any further action and political radicality against our government will no longer be entertained. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was voted into office with a firm belief that in spite of all our current challenges, that the Nigerians have not abandoned their faith in the qualities and characteristics, which made our nation and its citizens great. We are still the same people. All that has happened is that we have temporarily lost confidence in our own strength. Hence, our administration, like that of Margaret Thatcher, who was Britain's prime minister at a difficult, challenging period, said that she came to office with the deliberate intent to change Britain from a dependent to a self-reliant society, from a give it to me to a do-it-yourself nation, a get up and go instead of sit back and wait for it Britain. Following same ideology, the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, with the support of all Nigerians, we will collectively build a do-it-yourself nation instead of a sit back and wait for it Nigeria. Be assured that any further unguided and insightful comment from any quarter will no longer be tolerated and will met with equal consequences within the ambit of the law. If you wish to dare our resolve, you will definitely not have the luxury to go and verify unwarned. The man only knew within himself that Tinubu did not win election. He was just defending whatever he's defending. My only happiness is that this world is life cycle. Don't mind him, the idiot who is just fighting for his stomach. Okay, these are some reactions from Nigerians. So guys, what's your take?